for James.
Oh yeah, this is James's house. Was he expecting you?
Yeah. We're supposed to watch the movie together. Yeah.
Oh yeah, hey, my name's Will.
Dylan. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah. How do you know James?
We went to high school together.
Oh, okay. Cool.
How about you?
Yeah, we also went to high school together.
Huh?
Yeah. I don't remember you.
Astoria High.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember you either.
So, yeah, where's James?
So you're gonna go see the movie, huh?
Yeah.
See the movie with us?
Yeah, with James.
Batman versus Superman. I'm excited, huh?
Yeah. It should be good. Hopefully it's pretty short, pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
I'd love that if I had those qualities.
Mm-hmm.
Concise.
Yeah.
Sweet, to the point, and not muddled at all.
Mm-hmm. The story that you can follow. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you like movies in general?
Yeah, I like movies, I like TV, I like comics.
You call yourself just a dabbler in these?
I
like all those
dabbling.
things too. I
do
really
some
like
dabbling, yeah.
Dabbler, a little bit of a dilettante.
I wanted to get on your level though, because like novice for me is probably like expert for you.
Tell me what the host's name is.
It's Banner Thorpe.
That's right.
Banner Thorpe.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. He's the guy with the tails.
You know your comics. He's got
the
tails. He's got the lizards.
He's in some sort of
Squid Man.
Yes, Squid Man.
You seem to be very passionate about these things.
Oh,
I like to think that I am as well.
Usually.
Sometimes people think that I take it too far.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, just between you and me, I mean, they don't come much bigger.
Well,
fans than me.
Yeah, because I really, really love movies. Huge fan.
Yeah. I mean, a huge fan for you, for people that.
For anybody.
No, I mean, but I
Here.
I'm on this upper echelon that you couldn't even fathom. It's unfathomable.
Well, I don't want to come across as hostile.
Oh, I'm a big guy.
I actually made my own Wikipedia page.
Oh, did you?
Because I've been involved in some theater work. I've done some plays.
I'm shaking Bill Clinton's hand.
I'm shaking Bill Clinton's hand.
I'm shaking Bill Clinton's saxophone.
But I love these movies. I'm a super fan.
Oh, some sort of the opposite of woman.
I'm a guy. I'm a super guy.
Yeah, some kind of powerful.
I love these movies.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Big old man, just like your mother.
You don't even know my mother. You don't know the first thing about my mother. You don't even know her name.
Why would I want to know her name? Who does?
Oh yeah, for your information, my mother's name is Regina.
What? Why would you say that? Why would you say that name?
My mother's name is Regina.
My mother's name is Regina.
Really?
Yeah. Huh. Yeah. What's up, James?
Are we going to the movie?
Wasn't Wonder Woman...
No! Stop it! Stop it! That's the problem about this shit. This is rum pope. It's sort of like an eggnog infused with alcohol. Rum pope, take me away.
Well, anything's better than that goddamn movie.
That does sound really bad. Hello, friends. Welcome to another episode of Pleasantries.
Con rum pope!
My guests tonight are Will. You may not know him as Brigadier Crenshaw, much to his chagrin. And this homeless guy that wandered in off the street.
What's Dylan?
We watched Batman vs. Superman. So, general thoughts? I mean...
Well, I wanted to talk about expectations, so... General.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Why are you wearing that?
You guys said bring a sweater. I brought a sweater. What's the big deal?
Yeah, I guess.
I know there's going to be a dress code, but...
Huge call for Batman, huge desire. Everyone wants to see Batman. Superman, not so much. But, like, it's Batman versus Superman, so everyone's like, oh, yes, Batman!
Yeah. Me going into this, very big DC Comics fan, was hoping for a better movie than it wound up being. I probably enjoyed it more than you guys did.
I'm sure you did, yeah.
Because
if you enjoyed it at all.
I enjoyed it at all, yeah. The Marvel movies have managed to, they've mostly found a good balance of like gritty superhero action and like lighter comedy tone. I wasn't expecting Batman vs Superman to be that kind of movie. I think maybe a lot of people had that in mind. Like that's why they don't like it.
DC really focuses on the dark and gritty mostly because like Dark Knight, not a whole lot of comedy.
The Marvel movies have probably too much of that. Everything's funny. The whole movie, Age of Ultron, I never really felt danger. It never really feels like anybody really cares as much as they should about what's going on, whereas like the Nolan films that are super dark.
Right. Which I would say kind of takes it further away from actually having it be like a comic book.
The origin story and the explanation of Bruce Wayne's character was not really there. It's like his parents get shot. We all know that. He becomes a very frustrated man. We didn't really spend a lot of time with Batman.
Well, for one, the movie was way too long.
Yeah.
So any more thing added to it would have been bad. But maybe spend less time with that and more on kind of like what's driving him.
When I saw the trailers and people were talking about that the trailers gave too much away because like, oh, I know they're going to fight and then they're going to be friends and then they're going to fight Doomsday, and it kind of was that. And I was really worried about like, oh, they're going to shove too much stuff in. They didn't in the way that I thought was going to happen. Like I thought they were all going to like get their own entire scene or something, and I was like, this is not going to work. It was instead too much shit for a completely different reason where they just added like 12 plot lines.
While we're on the subject of the extra characters that are going to be being introduced, after, Wonder Woman gets her file back, I thought it was so corny that Lex Luthor just has this file with different emblems for each different superheroes.
Yeah.
And she clicks on the thing, and it's just a little different, ooh, you got me. This Aquaman, like,
Yeah, taking way too
what
long.
is that? Is that a camera?
Like, how would he not be caught at this point?
Yeah.
If that's as lazy as he
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, I really liked the opening with Bruce Wayne's perspective on the shit happening. You were kind of connected to Superman throughout the whole movie until that fight, and you're just like, now they're all just punching each other. It doesn't mean anything. There's just a bunch of CGI, and I don't care. And then this was like a different perspective on that, where I actually started giving a shit about like, oh, people are dying. Like, this is a big deal.
Early in the movie, Superman rescues Amy Adams and
The character of Amy
no, the
Adams.
actress. Yeah,
And then he kills that man by plowing him through a wall.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but was them shooting the terrorist that was somehow supposed to frame Superman?
Yeah, he knew that Superman was going to come for Amy Adams because he knows when she's in danger, he can find her exactly wherever she is.
Yeah.
Which he can't do with his mom, by the way. I thought that was...
Or anyone else, also.
When Doomsday's sitting there going, ah! And Amy Adams is going, the water. He's like, wait a second.
Batman sees the destruction that Superman causes and then blames Batman.
Blame Superman.
Blame Superman.
Yes, Batman
Batman's the one
blames
with the
Superman.
ears.
He's like, oh, you did it, ooh, terrorists.
We have that whole opening sequence and Batman's obviously pissed the fuck off that he thinks Superman is responsible for all these people's deaths, which he kind of is. That could have been the entire catalyst for him to fight Superman. But they had to add on, we have to stop that guy. We have to stop him. Another thing happens where Superman looks like an asshole. Now we really have to stop him. And another thing happens where Superman looks like an asshole. We have to stop him.
Batman's motivation for wanting to kill Superman was pretty clear, but I was confused about
The opposite.
So what happens is Batman is branding people that he takes down or gets arrested, and so when he brands them, Superman's like, oh, that's not cool, dude.
Yeah.
Even though in this movie both of them kill people.
Dozens of people. Dozens of innocent people.
Dozens. They never talk about it. They never even like acknowledge, oh, I killed somebody. No, like the movie is set in this dark tone, so obviously the dudes are dead. Superman shoots a guy through like 2 walls, just a normal Arab guy with a family and a goat. So every time that anything to Superman was going on, I was like,
Yeah.
I don't
Henry
care.
Cavill is just a boring dude.
Oh my.
I've watched Man of Steel a handful of times. The first time I watched it, I remember thinking like how Superman barely said anything and he didn't really do much. Like all the stuff just around him happened to happen to him, and that was the interesting stuff. That kind of seemed like this movie also, but they kind of like tried to put more of his life into it. Like
I was
R-rated.
shocked by that bathtub scene.
Yeah.
Because it looked... I
like
felt like
this
if I went in
close.
with the Blu-ray and zoomed in, I
Yeah.
could maybe see a little something I
Which
wasn't
I
supposed to.
plan to do. There's these weird like dream sequences that Batman keeps having.
Venom symbiote leaking out of the gravestone, and then when he touches it, then like a giant Batman like comes out.
That was pretty freaky, actually. I liked
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, a lot of people
wasn't
like
expecting it,
like
yeah.
shock.
Yeah. The one
He's
is
struggling with the conflict of being
guess
the
so.
bat.
I guess so.
Well, and I think it was all.
I do like the artsy comic book-ishness. It's not super far like what's that with the like 7 ex-boyfriends that he has to fight Michael
Scott
Cera,
Pilgrim.
where they're literally like there's captions and like sound effect words when he punches people and stuff like that. It's not that far, but it's also not Dark Knight, where it's like meant to just be a normal movie where there happens to be Batman in it or whatever. It's kind of like a middle ground, and I really liked some of that.
I was kind of confused, partially because I didn't care.
Yeah, you were both going into it wanting to hate it. I was going into
I
was being like optimistic.
I was expecting to not like it. I was trying to remain neutral, but expecting to not like it.
It hits you pretty quickly that it's like, this is not going to be good.
The Superman-Lois dynamic, both in Man of Steel and this movie, is very forced. In Man of Steel, she's there, and she figures out that Clark Kent is Superman, like, instantly.
Wait a minute. Oh!
When they first kiss in Man of Steel, I've always gone, like, there's never been a connection between you two at all.
Batman goes in the future, and he's shooting them, and he's killing people, and then there's, like, weird aliens that are from, I don't know, like Ants, the movie or something.
yeah. And then the Sector from Mortal Kombat comes out of a portal at the end, and he's like, Batman!
Well, and that's the confusion.
Batman do things!
So the time is
Flash,
just like,
by the way.
Yeah, Flash.
Yeah, I have no idea. You can't tell who it's supposed
Just
to
a
be.
red robot person.
Yeah.
I thought that was weird that he wakes up from the dream, Sector's there and doing that shit, and then he wakes up again. Like, was that also a dream? I don't understand.
Gets us to the actual theme of the movie, which it tried to make it deeper meaning to it, of like, oh, well, Superman has too much power. Does he need...
Is he a god?
Yeah, there's a senator that Jesse Eisenberg is trying to get help from. Continues to have like the same conversation with Jesse Eisenberg where they like walk up to each other and he's like, do me a favor, and she says no, and then he gives her like this metaphor and then she gives him a metaphor, and he's
that
like,
scene happens at least 4 times.
I like Jesse Eisenberg.
Yeah,
Yeah,
things we liked. Jesse Eisenberg did a good job.
Yeah, like the very first scene with Lex Luthor, he basically like alludes to the fact that he's Lex Luthor's son, which I thought was good because a lot of like comic book people,
they're upset because he's not a square-jawed, muscular, bald guy.
Yeah, I didn't have to think about that the rest of the movie. He's just a new character, and this is what he does.
Yeah, I'm on the fence with new Alfred too.
Yeah.
It's like he's younger, he's cooler, he's a hipster Alfred.
He's hipster Alfred.
He's about 10 to 15 years older than Bruce Wayne. So this means that we had a 15-year-old butler serving the Wayne family.
Like, so seeing him in the previews, I was like, oh, he is not our enemy. And I was like, oh, fuck, like, these can be really good Alfred. And then when that line happens in the movie, Bruce Wayne's like, we need to kill him because of this, 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 and this. That's my argument. And then Alfred's like, but he is not our enemy. And that's all he says.
Right.
I'm like, oh, okay, well, you're right. Sorry.
Alfred used to be like a very persuasive father figure to Bruce Wayne, and now he's just this kind of hipster guy who hangs out in the shop.
He's there.
Okay, so he's a butler, and then by the time it's 2016,
he's an expert mechanic.
He's an engineer. He knows how to make things that no one else can make.
He's a British secret spy in the past. But this is part of the
Still a
reason
spy,
why
not
the
an
movie
engineer.
sucks. I know more shit going into the movie than you guys do about like comic book history with these guys. There's some shots in the movie that are like tailored to just because like that's a panel from a comic book.
Well, that's called fan service.
Yeah, totally.
That's okay.
And that, I think to an extent, yeah. When he looks out at the giant crumpled city, there's a Omega symbol on the ground, like carved into the ground, and that's Darkseid's like logo.
Oh, yeah,
like
I had no idea.
And so now I'm like, oh, Darkseid, okay, this is interesting. No one would know that if they just watched Man of Steel and then this.
But you're making a movie that you know millions and millions of Americans are going to.
Right.
Like,
It
so
should
there's
hit
gonna be
both bases.
there's gonna be a couple
there's-
millions that are gonna be like, oh, dude, shit, yeah,
Yeah.
I know what that is. But then there's gonna be the majority of people who are like, huh?
Before I saw Iron Man, knew nothing about Iron Man. I enjoy the shit out of the first Iron Man movie without having to know anything.
And no one's talked about Wonder Woman yet. I think that she was okay because she wasn't maybe because she wasn't in it much.
Fighting Doomsday.
Yeah.
Cutting off his hand.
Yeah, and the lasso and the sword and all that
Ironically,
stuff.
she kills Superman, huh? Because she cuts off his hand and grows a bone spike.
Yeah,
out of it and
it's
stabs
her
Superman.
fault, yeah.
Spoiler alert, Superman dies. I've been watching this.
Do you believe?
That voice, by the way, Doo-doo caca.
On the Arrow TV show, that's what he's done since the first season. To mask his voice, is he has like a little detective. I'm talking to you. I'm not Oliver Queen. What the fuck are you talking about?
You don't always die from tobacco.
I like it better than Christian Bale. It's a different voice than Bruce Wayne, sure, but it's just a stupid sounding voice. And after they made those like college humor videos, I can't watch any of those movies without just laughing
With
at the
Pete
voice.
Holmes, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I thought a way that that Wonder Woman could have been incorporated into the movie in a more interesting fashion.
Yeah.
She's working against Lex Luthor. She knows that he's evil. Secretary character of Lex's. That
Mercy.
Mercy, I guess. Why couldn't that have just been Wonder Woman?
Wonder Woman.
Yeah, you know, that character didn't really need to exist. It could have just been Wonder Woman.
I think the writers put stuff in like, oh, we have to have this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And she dies when the explosion happens.
Yeah,
like,
she's
Lex
kind of
just
like,
lets her die.
yeah, and why? There's no reason.
she had like a jar of Lex's piss or whatever sitting there, and she somehow knew that meant like horrible things about to happen, but it drug on like for like 2 minutes of her going.
I thought that was so bizarre that she was like so affected by this.
Yeah. Well,
I feel like my reaction would be like, "What the fuck, Lex?"
I wrote down other titles for the movie.
Uh-huh.
So Superman featuring Batman,
Right.
because I feel like it was mostly a Superman movie, and then it was just like Batman. He almost seemed like a villain.
Oh,
Yeah, of like semi-villain who they work together. Superman versus As Old as Your Mother, Batman, because Batman and his mom are like the same age. Superman versus RoboCop,
Yeah.
because Batman has like this
RoboCop.
RoboSuit.
Then I went
Yeah,
off of
right.
titles. Why does Clark Kent have a job? So in the movie, for one, he's Batman. I mean, he's Superman. I'm gonna just keep doing that. I don't. He's with Lois. He can just stay at her place all the time.
He loves to be bossed around by Lawrence Fishburne
Yeah.
yelling at him for
it's
not
a finish.
Well, yeah, and he like
Tell me what to do, Lawrence Fishburne.
He never shows up. Lawrence Fishburne should fire him many times. He's like, "Where's Kent?" Like, have you guys ever gone to work and your boss is like, "Hey, where's James?" Oh, I'll see you tomorrow, James. Maybe you'll
I
show up
guess
then.
it's okay.
Many times where it's like Superman is so fast, but he doesn't do anything. Like Jesse Eisenberg captures Superman's mom, and it's like, dude, you're super fast. Like people just know where everything is.
Yeah.
Alfred's in Batman's comm, and he's like, I overheard what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's a good thing they're at this warehouse.
Yeah.
Who is? Martha?
Yeah.
Martha who? How did Jesse Eisenberg find out that Superman is Clark Kent? So he gets hit with kryptonite and then Batman can punch him and hurt him.
And he gets knocked out by a sink.
The only scene with his mom prior to all that shit is like a 1 minute long scene of him at the like farmhouse with her, and she's like, you don't have to save people if you don't want to. I mean, if you want to, then do it.
Great
And then-
advice, Mom.
Yeah, yeah. And then later, then she's just the catalyst for the entire thing, like for the reason why they're fighting or whatever. Clark Kent's mom should have been like way more in the movie than Lois Lane. There's a lot of parallels with this movie and Age of Ultron. I didn't see it as its own movie. It was very much a 2.5 hour long trailer for the next movie. Like all it did was set up 20 things for the future movies. Well, I guess we have to have a plot for this movie, so we'll Ultron, I guess, which is the exact same thing of this movie. And they're trying, but if you took out the stuff that was setting up Justice League, it would have been a much better movie, made a lot more sense.
Justice League is already going to be exciting enough.
Yeah.
You release a trailer,
Yeah.
and people go apeshit about it, and
Justice
they get
League,
excited. Yeah.
Maybe it was just that it's Ben Affleck, but like it just, I didn't like his costume. Maybe it was just like, I saw Ben Affleck
Yeah.
and I didn't see Batman.
I don't necessarily love Henry Cavill as Superman, but I like that they chose kind of a no-name-ish person. And I was surprised when they chose someone for Batman to be his, like, equal. That's a much more famous person. But I actually liked Batman's costume the most out of any Batman movie. Because, like, realism on his mobility, it's a much more, like, it looks more flexible, I guess, than armor. He also has the gray costume, whereas every other movie Batman has had completely black the whole time, which I
Right.
never
Wow.
understood.
But I didn't like Ben Affleck's face. in the costume.
on the costume.
I don't know, like that took me out of it.
Yeah.
Just he looked really dumb. Batman's about to kill Superman, and then it just goes into like every other movie.
Fucking stab him. Like,
Yeah, I
do
was
it
like,
right
oh.
now. Yeah.
And then like he throws.
Save Martha.
I think I
And
like
then they're friends.
I like that in as a concept.
This guy has some humanity.
Yeah,
to him.
yeah, exactly.
He's got a mama.
But the way they executed it was very just like sudden. I'm a friend of your son's. You're friends now? Okay.
You almost just murdered him.
Yeah,
Like, it
you
was
were
more
about
of a-
to kill him.
He was talking about Facebook, I think. And then Amy Adams like just comes in and she's like, oh, well, I guess I'll take this staff and put it in a place where anyone can find it.
I'll just throw it in this pool.
Yeah,
I
put it
think
in
she was
this
trying to
pool.
get rid of it.
But I know that, but
Yeah.
why was that where you would get rid of it? Someplace where like homeless people swim at. And then why does he have to take the staff? Just you're Superman, go really fast, go
Yeah.
grab Batman and be like, oh, you're
Yeah,
not
they
doing
show
anything.
him-
You know what the great thing about spears is, though? You can throw them.
Yeah. Man of Steel is like something that hurts Superman is that on Krypton there was a certain like oxygen, nitrogen, whatever that they breathe, and on Earth there's a different atmosphere. So when Zod comes in on his ship, Superman breathes in that air, and he's like on the ground spitting up blood, like his body is not used to it. That's a cool way to do it instead of kryptonite. Kryptonite is really like Superman that's the only thing that can hurt him. And then in this there was like, by the way, it's also kryptonite.
Anything to make the movie go a little bit longer, I'm a fan of. Kryptonite definitely did that.
They had to put in that corny shot of Bruce Wayne. There's always somebody at a funeral scene standing in the back
Really
by
far
a
away,
tree.
yeah.
The funeral, you're so done with the movie at this point.
Yeah.
Interesting end scene, though, when Batman goes to Lex Luthor to brand him. And thank God the movie ends with that scene. But,
Oh wait, when I watched the Avengers for the first time, despite the fact that I don't know these characters as well, it's cool to see them come together for the first time. There was no Avengers fluid animated or live action thing until that point. So like, ooh, you get to see them, they're fighting and they're all moving and ooh, it's amazing. Whereas this, there's a Justice League cartoon, there's video games. It should have been a holy shit, this is the first time I'm ever seeing Wonder Woman, Batman, and Superman fighting all at the same time. This is fucking cool. I was completely taken out of it, and I just went like, this looks like a cutscene out of some video game that I've seen already on YouTube.
their
But-
trio music, I said this before, was
the
pretty
music,
awesome.
The music throughout the whole movie, I really like. I really like Hans Zimmer. The Superman and Batman themes from the like 80s and 70s movies have recognizable melodies that you can like sing and hum and like, oh yeah, it's fucking this theme. Dark Knight and Man of Steel themes are just some
Industrial.
notes and rhythms and percussion sounds. I prefer something that you can hum. I had heard that the first Batman scene in the movie was going to be alien-like.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
And
really? He did look creepy up there in the corner.
And then he suddenly is a cartoon monster crawling across the
He's a
ceiling.
xenomorph.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but why were the girls that he rescued afraid of him?
Why doesn't he go, hey, you girls are fine now?
Look, I'm Bruce Wayne. It's okay.
They'll never believe you.
He rescues Superman's mom. He's like, he's a friend of mine, and like,
I could tell.
I
the
could tell.
cape.
By the cape.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
just stop.
Superman is like, oh, kryptonite. Oh, I'm fucking weak as shit. And Batman's kicking his ass. And then he's like, but I believe in myself. I'm fine now.
Yeah, fuck this movie.
The most of the movie, I felt like how Superman felt like when the bomb goes off. And he's just standing there going, damn it. So I'm going to give it a 7. I only give it that because I really like Batman and Superman. I really like DC Comics. I'm probably going to watch this a couple more times at least. But that's kind of giving it more credit than it deserves. Like, it shouldn't be that I come out going like, man, maybe I just really need to watch it a second time.
Yeah, that seems fair. I'll give it a 5.5 because it was very bored throughout the film.
Yeah.
But there was some good stuff I liked. I thought that the cinematography was fairly well handled for the most part. The costume design was good, like you said, and it was just muddled and bloated and overwhelmed.
Yeah, bloated is a good word.
I forgot the Doomsday was a movie. It was a bad surprise for me. I saw him because
Was it a bat surprise?
it was a bad surprise. It was a bat bomb.
Bat bomb!
I was thinking, I think I'll give it a 6. For whatever reason, it went really quick for me. And I was pretty entertained.
Ironically, because of the title, it's entertaining in the same way that Alien vs. Predator is entertaining.
Yes.
Because it's like, this movie is shit, but I'm enjoying what, for the most part, what I'm watching.
Or
what
the
I
same
see,
way that,
yeah.
like, sodomy is entertaining. Average score.
Average score.
Average score.
So that's it for today's episode of Pleasantries. Hope you enjoy it. Thanks for stopping by. I shake your hand. I shake your hand. Thanks for stopping by. And we'll see you next time on this show that you won't watch. You have a fantastic evening.
Wow, are you serious? That was pretty good.
No! No! Look at it! Look at it! Attempt to get out of there.
Oh.
This so much more entertaining than the movie we watched.
I was perplexed